Welcome to Connecting Communities, a collaboration between people in Syracuse, New York, Bloomfield, New Jersey, and Makhanda, South Africa. Connecting Communities provides people on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean an opportunity to learn more about one another through conversation. And to see, despite the 8,000 miles between us, we're more alike than we are different. This podcast is supported by the John Ben Snow Memorial Trust. For more information, go to inkululeko.org/podcast. Let's go.
Is dance and be creative. I love all the arts, so dance, art, like visual arts, all the things.
I'm in the 12th grade and I want to be an OBGYN.
My name's Angelina and I really like doing media over here. I do like photography and journalism writing and all that stuff.
I like to play sports. I'm like a very athletic person.
My name is Jaime Triana. I like to study math. It's very interesting to see how the world works. Physics is very awesome.
I'm a 12th grader at ITC. I'm also interested in chemistry. I love trying new foods and I'm a runner.
My name is Tiana. Obviously, I go to ITC.
I just thank you guys so much. We are so excited to be meeting you too. So I am Nosi, but my full name is Nosi Piwo. I'm Nosi Piwo Dosi, working for Inkululeko organization. I work as a special programs director, and this is one of the special programs that we have. This is our first episode. So I'm gonna pass the mic around. Everyone will be introducing themselves.
My name is Shonde Nana. I'm an 8th grader at ITC Secondary School. I like gaming, and when I'm older, I'd like to be a streamer. I also like math. That's all.
My name is Inkululeko. My surname is Months. I'm also doing it with grade in ITC Secondary School. What I love to do is mostly drawing because it eases my mind, and I love seeing other drawings because they look really cool. And I also love music that I also respect the 80s celebrities of the US.
Good evening. My name is Ondeza Fani and I'm doing grade 8 in ITC Secondary School. I love reading novels. It helps me learn new words and it also helps me with my vocabulary life.
Good afternoon. My name is Kawa. My surname is Solomzi. Basically, I just love basketball, and I also like gaming because I could escape reality by playing games online. And that is.
My name is Asisipo Frank. I'm doing grade 10 at ITC Secondary School. What I love doing is playing netball. Yeah. Everyone, my name is Ibu Mataba. I'm also doing grade 10 at Zika. I also love playing netball because that's my happy place.
I love art. I'm doing grade 11 at Matania Nyaluza. I just love spending time with myself.
Hi guys, my name is Namta Kaliti. I'm doing grade 9 in ITC Secondary School. I love reading novels and listening to music. When I'm older, I'd like to be a psychologist.
Hi guys, my name is Yanda. My surname is Alessi. I'm doing grade 10 at Nathaniel Nyaluza. I'm a singer. I'm a member of Makhanda Choir. What I love to do is to sing most of the time. I can literally write songs for myself.
Hi guys, my name is Onyeza. My surname is Pisa and I'm doing grade 8 at ITC Secondary School and I love to play chess.
My name is Yamgela. My surname is Kotuku. What I love is music. Anything with music. Yeah, I love it.
Nyaluza and also Witika. So the learners here are from grade 8 up to grade 11. We are just going to be sharing our opinions, what you guys are doing that side, and also what we are doing that side. So I'm just hoping that this is going to be great and it's a start of new things. This is not the last time that we are meeting.
What are some of the best aspects of the school in your country?
One of the best aspects is like all the resources and all the like programs that our school offers. Like they offer a lot of programs to get us advanced for when we go into the real world, and a lot of programs to help people make friends.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of specialized into one thing once they enter in as a ninth grader. So everybody here has like a different specialization or program. So some of us are media, some of us are biotech, some of us are culinary.
I think like across the school district, we all really enjoy the programs because it does let you focus on something you're interested in. And within that, you can like build a community. Like a lot of my friends are within my program. So because obviously I see them the most. So it's really nice. I think that's probably my favorite part about school is like the community aspect of it. I really love like after school activities like this one or like the other clubs we have. Like we do a lot of like book clubs, art clubs. There's people with sports here.
Oh, yeah.
I would say that we are really lucky to have like access to transportation. Cause I know back in my country, we didn't have like buses coming and picking us up for free. We have to pay for it.
I also think we're lucky to have education free up to high school because I know back in the country of Ecuador, you have to pay for elementary school, you have to pay for middle school, and they provide us textbooks here and materials, whereas in Ecuador, we would have to buy our own materials and get our own textbooks. And the school doesn't provide anything for us. You have to kind of provide for it, and you have to pay to get into the school too.
Okay, thank you guys for that first question. And I can hear that your school is well structured. You have resources. And I'd like to know if you have like organizations that are helping you maybe for the school. I was saying, do you guys have like organizations in your schools, maybe organizations like we have here, for instance, in the Inkululeko, which was an interesting program. So do you guys have something like that?
Really, in our school, you can start any club that you want or an organization as you guys call it. So I started a club in my 10th grade year. It's called Seeds of Peace. Seeds of Peace is a nationwide organization. It's a nonprofit that works to bridge the divides between our differences. So we do that through dialogue. We talk a lot about race, gender, identity, and how they intersect. We also do fun activities. We do something for Earth Day. We do some potlucks. We do a multicultural potluck where people can bring in a dish from their culture. And then there's also a summer camp that kids from across the US can spend 2 weeks at. So that's my organization.
There's a club for Science Olympiad. We meet about once every month. And basically what we do, we go to a school like Lemoyne, is a college, and along with other high schoolers, we like participate in competitions for science stuff. There's a bunch of them. There's chemistry, physics.
For our media kids and for honestly anybody, we have Syracuse Journalism Lab, which is all about like learning how to write news stories, interviewing people, connecting with like local professionals and even like nationwide known professionals, just to like get connections, network, and build our portfolios as we do projects. And it lasts for about, I'd say like 10 weeks.
Another program we got is NSBE. It stands for National Society of Black Engineers. Basically it's a nationwide thing, but specifically we do it in our district, and we compete in multiple like different STEM areas. Like we have there's math competitions, there's robotics competitions, there's like Kid Win, where we build windmills and see who can get the most generate the most electricity. There's 1080 where they like build cars and race them, and basically it's just very like, I guess you could say, Black empowerment, and just focus on getting people like us into the STEM field. Yeah, we compete at regionals and nationals. Yeah, so we win in our region, then we go to nationals and compete with everybody across the country.
Program at our school called Choices is basically a women's empowerment group, mostly for women of color. We talk about societal problems, the things we face by ourselves, and we try to like come together. We do vision boards every year. We have an end of the school year meeting with girls from all different, girls from and our district.
many clubs in your school. But thank you for that. I think we are well captured in that question. So we are going to move to the next one. And I think another question.
But what are the most bad aspects of of your school in your country?
We're one of, there's 5 city schools, including us, and then outside of that, in Syracuse, there's like the suburbs, like the suburban schools. And a lot of the suburban schools usually have a lot more opportunities, and since ITC itself is a really small school, we usually have to compete in a lot of events where it's like against bigger schools with a lot more funding than us, a lot more opportunities, a lot more programs. So I would just say our size and our funding kind of handicaps us a bit when it comes to like media competitions and what we can do. Sports events too. We don't have, we do not have a football field. Every other school, I believe, has one. Yeah, Nottingham. We have to share with Fowler, which is another city school, and we also have to share with Corcoran, which is another city school. We kind of flip between using Corcoran's field and Fowler's field, depending.
And to build on that, another like bad aspect is because of how tiny our school is, we don't have a lot of sports teams like just at our school. Like we don't have a lot of ITC teams. A lot of our teams are combined. Like for example, tennis is combined and basketball is combined. Girls basketball, boys basketball is not, but girls basketball is combined. Cross country is combined.
Our soccer team.
Soccer,
What does it need to
swim.
be combined?
Like when I say combined, we're combined with other high schools in our district, like how she mentioned, we're actually combined with Fowler and Corcoran. So I feel like that's kind of like I don't know, our school's just so tiny that we don't even have a lot of our own sport teams.
Behavior. I mean, I wouldn't say that like the student body itself is bad, but there are like a few groups in the school that are just, they kind of ruin it for a lot of people when it comes to pep rallies and stuff like that. Like they kind of bring the morale down. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, let's make fun of this person for having fun at an event because why not? And it kind of brings people down in that sense.
Our school is in the middle of downtown, which is like the main city area. And downtown is like known from like some suspicious and not so good like activity. And this is like across the district as well. So like we all have metal detectors when you come into school. They have to like check your bags to like make sure that you haven't like brought any weapons to school. I'm sure you guys heard like on news of like lockdowns and shootings at schools. So like it's not always, you think like school is like a good place to like learn and sometimes kids like a safe place you would think. But sometimes it can just feel like dangerous to go to school. I don't think any of us have witnessed a school shooting, but like we definitely have that fear in the back of our mind of like, could our school be the school this week that ends up in the news, or just for another reason, like kids fighting in the hallway or
Setting fire to trash cans.
setting fire. Yeah, there's a lot of misbehavior.
Yeah.
To the funding part, it can affect the education. So in certain classes, such as in our SU class for super bio, we couldn't have access to this one program because it was too expensive to afford. And it affects us in a way where we can't access certain information. And so then we have to learn at a different pace. And now we're a little behind where we should be at in our exam that we're going to take next Tuesday is going to be a little different than what it should be.
Is mentioned a gun shooting in your school. So I would like to know, like, if someone caught up with a weapon or drug, what does your school do? Because in our school, someone gets suspended immediately. Like,
Well, I wrote a story about this during my Syracuse journalism lab program, and the punishments just aren't that harsh. Like when it comes to weapons, obviously, like sometimes usually a kid gets suspended for like a day and then they immediately come back. But when it comes
are guns easy to get access to inside?
Yes.
So most students do have guns.
I would say most students have. It's just
I mean, like when you guys say like a gun shoot, that means what? Like maybe that Lena stole or something.
Oh, what weapon?
Yes, it's like a pocket knife.
Pocket knives are like a common like threat that like is usually on the news, like, oh, kid. That was our bell, sorry. Like kids getting caught with pocket knives. There have been some incidents where somebody brings like they'll probably write the kid up. But unless you're caught with it like multiple times a week, nothing really happens to you.
So are you guys safe or
Are
at
we-
school? Are you guys safe at school or are you guys used to those who bring weapons to school?
I would say we're pretty safe. I mean, one thing that helps with that is our metal detectors. Everybody has to go through them in the morning, or if they leave the building and come back in. We all have to go through the metal detectors, and then our book bags also have to go through it, so they can see each and every item in it. So I feel like there's not much. Like, I mean, like most of the time, if somebody did bring it, they would see like it in the metal detector, and they would take it away. So.
We also have like school safety officers.
So, do these gun shootings in these city schools happen in like your districts?
I
No.
don't think one has ever happened.
Not ones that you've seen like on the news. Like the most that we've ever had is like usually at the beginning of a school year, there's always an incident where somebody makes like a phone call to like every high school and like makes an empty threat just to like spook kids at the beginning of the year. But nothing really happens with that type thing. We've never had like a shooting in our
I'm
district.
gonna add on to that. And when like if they do make those threats, like our school 100% knows about it, and like the building, it's not put on a lockdown, but like it basically is like everywhere you look, there's some type of security guard or police officer or some like staff administrator. Like even if those threats are just to spook out, they're on top of it and they're monitoring like our every move really.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. We are going to have our third question now.
What is a technical school and how is it different from regular school, and what subject do you do?
Technical school is kind of like most high schools are just you take the main 4 subjects like math, English, science, and then history, and you kind of just focus on that. A technical school allows you to specialize in a career field, a developing career field, anything like that. So this can be like mechanics or wood shop or medical, policing, any of those things.
It's kind of like if you took on a major, like when you go to college, you're like, I'm studying to be a nurse, or I'm studying to be a teacher. It's kind of like a high school level of a major. So you have like 2 classes a day that relate to that.
Yeah.
And how is it different from a regular school? What do you kind of explain?
Yeah.
What are our subjects?
Let's have a super bio kid talk
Okay.
about his subjects. The rigor.
Wait. There's more to biotech than super bio.
Okay, so subjects and those.
So us two, me and Jaime and Kuja who left, we're all biotech students, which really it's like, I mean, I feel like it's very sciencey. Like one of the main things of this program, like leading up to your 12th grade year, is you take a lot of science classes. Like you take physics, chemistry, forensics, anatomy, oh yeah, and then also with this program we get to take classes like in 10th grade we get to take college classes like from a science-based school really, and now that we're in 12th grade we get to take more science classes. We're actually right now we're in Syracuse University biology, and I mean it like we're taking 3 classes through it and we get 8 college credits from it, and I mean I like the class. I think it's pretty cool. You can talk more about super bio because that's the thing.
So super bio is just chemistry, but with a little bit of biology. We're really understanding how things work in the finite sense, like how you would, like how, we have a molecule and then we have bonds and then we have what?
Nothing, nothing, go ahead.
We have elements, all these elements make bonds, these bonds make molecules, these molecules are like basic things like H2O, water, which are polar.
We're good.
Alright, what would you like to, do we want to include?
You wanna do media next?
Media, you guys want to do media?
Okay. Media, so you have obviously biotech, and then you have digital multimedia, which kind of focuses on every major area of media. It covers, first off, you start off with like broadcasting, the intro to media, kind of dabbles in everything. And the next year after that, in your sophomore year, you cover photography. The year after that, you cover graphic design, like poster making and stuff like that. And then in your final year, you cover film. And this year, we're allowed to choose like what part of media that we want to explore more from our 4 years. So some people are right now are doing films, some people are taking photos, some people are doing podcasts. Like there's a lot of different avenues with digital multimedia because there's so many different like jobs in media itself. So we do a little bit of like everything when it comes to like technical stuff.
And I'm the only one in culinary. Well, it's obviously a 4-year program. Culinary is it's basically just cooking. Yeah, there's a lot of research. Like our 4 years, all we do is book work. So serious, all we do is book work. We go in labs for cooking. We have a lot of knife labs where we learn how to do certain cuts, like diagonal cuts, Juliet cuts, small dice, large dice, medium dice. We do have other labs where we actually choose recipes online and put them together, present them for our teachers, or sometimes, I think we're having one this year. We haven't had one in 2 years. Our cafe, we're opening our cafe this year. We usually cook fries, pizza, salads.
There's mechanical engineering and electrical engineering that's also at our school.
And automotive.
And automotive, which is like fixing cars. And then like across the district, you have construction technology, you have business,
Odontology.
There's a lot of nursing programs. There's fire and rescue. There's ROTC, which is like an early military program.
We have IB program, and then we also have a teaching program.
Yep, there's urban education. And then IB, like she mentioned, is like it's where the really smart kids go.
My fourth question is, are the subjects that you do outside like really helpful in reality or something?
I think like each like tech program is helpful because every student goes into it wanting to do something in that program. Like they go to automotive because they want to be a mechanic, so they're learning skills that they're going to use later on. I went into media because I want to become a journalist. I want to become a writer, so I'm going to use those skills later on when I go on to college or my next career. So everybody kind of joins the program because they want to develop those skills for the future and have them be helpful to them. So everybody. Yeah, go ahead.
I agree, and I want to add on that. For every program at our school except for biotech, unfortunately, you get CTE certified in your program, which I don't really know too much about it because in my program they don't do that. But I believe you're like certified in certified by the state, I think, in that field. But as far as my program, biotech, I think it's very helpful because I wanna, when I go to college, I wanna study biology as my major, and I'm already gonna have 8 biology credits, so I'm already gonna have like 3 biology classes done, so it's really getting me ahead in the building.
Course of culinary, you still get those basic human skills, housemaid skills for cooking, and we also do like stuff for job applications, how to be professional in your workspace, so that's very helpful.
Guys, can I ask, does LGBTQ community allowed in your school to remove kids feel safe?
Yeah,
LGBTQ plus is accepted in the school.
Yeah, we have a whole club.
Oh yeah, nobody talked about it.
We have a pride club, like a LGBTQ club. And I believe in June, don't we do a little like pride parade, like in the
Yes.
hallways?
And everybody's usually super.
Everybody brings their flags, they wave them in the hallway. We have a lot of counselors that have like pride flags in their room, teachers have pride flags in their room, like it's a really big part of our student body that is widely accepted.
So, is there any rainbow kid that ever faced an incident like being judged?
I mean, I think there's always kids that feel like they're being bullied or like they're unsafe. I mean, you can't make everybody agree to it, and I can't think of like any outright major harm that's come to anybody at our school.
There has been.
Okay.
There's been a few of my friends who are transgender that have faced like a lot of situations where they're like, they face a lot of like rude comments about them. They get harassed all the time. They have to go to counselors to get this fixed because there's some people that are just really like ignorant and naive about it that just, harass other people who are different.
So, what does your school do about those cases?
They usually get written up. Like we have a whole, in the Syracuse City School District, we have DASA, which is basically to protect kids from harm based on their gender, sex, religion, race, any of that. So at every school, there's a counselor or somebody who is affiliated with DASA that works specifically with kids who are being harassed for their sex or gender or any of that. So usually DASA takes care of that, writes them up. I have heard like a few instances where the kid got suspended. So I've seen it being taken like really seriously over here.
So, if I could for instance, move in a school, will I be free, safe? What do you guys think? Can I be able to make friends? Aren't there any racist cases?
Yeah, I mean, making friends was pretty easy. What you think?
Yeah, I think making friends is easy. Realistically, I'd say most of the friends I've just made them because they're in my classes. So I think every class really, for the most part, feels like a community, like a joining community. So I feel like that's an easy way to make friends. Plus, if you join any clubs or sports teams, those also become your friends because you're around them a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's never perfect though.
No, it's never perfect, but I mean, I've made a lot of friends here that I don't talk on a daily basis, but I'm still cool with a lot of people.
As detention something, is it taken in action often in school?
We don't have a detention. We have. Vic isn't even a. Wait, we have. Don't we have the
Behavior Intervention Center.
Yeah, big.
Oh, yeah, we have BIC, which is basically, it's the Behavioral Intervention Center. And that's our detention. That's where kids get sent when they get in trouble.
But it's just during the day. So we also have something called in-school suspension. So kids will be in the behavioral, the big group, and they'll spend the day there and they won't go to their classes or interact with their friends.
Yeah.
But we don't have an after school detention or anything like that.
Have you guys been into detention or whatever you say?
No. I've been to bring work to them.
Don't point at me, I've never been.
Okay, I've been in the room to give work to somebody, but personally at ITC, I've never even been. I've never physically been in the room.
I don't even know where the room is.
It's by the engineering room.
It is.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You're probably talking to some of the best students at the school. A lot of us are graduating in the top 10 of our school, or at least top 20. What do you? You're looking at a lot of good students. Yeah.
None of us have been.
He's taken seriously in your school.
Side activities?
Like clubs?
Yeah.
They're taken pretty seriously.
Yeah, they all have a pretty good amount of people in each club.
Yeah, SJL is taken, Syracuse Journalism Lab is taken pretty seriously because you're doing something related to your field every week. I know this coming week I have to interview a Emmy Award winning songwriter that's coming in. And I'm like, I really need to do that on Monday. Like, I'm excited to do that. There's a commitment to like come in, show up and do what you love doing type thing. I feel like every club kind of has that commitment, dedication vibe to it.
And I said this earlier too, like, if there's not a club that you like, you can start your own. I like, as long as you find a teacher to support you in it, you can really like start something up. I think the only thing that's like, for a while, we didn't have a music program. We don't have an auditorium. We don't have like a marching band or,
It's a district wide.
No, it's a district-wide marching.
Yeah. District wide.
District-wide marching.
the school musical. We might start to have one, but like, we don't have an auditorium.
That's also been fine.
But yeah, you can combine with a different high school in the area if you really wanna do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like they make it work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we find a way every time.
About racism in a school? Is
Racism.
it something that most of you have experienced in the past?
I wouldn't say it's that rampant. I mean,
I don't understand. I feel like I'm
Just in our school or like,
or like across the district type thing.
Let's say in your school first.
I think there is much racism.
I don't think there is much in our school. I mean, everybody. Yeah, like we're a majority.
A majority of our school is African American. I don't really think there's much of a racism, even to the people who aren't or like are partially or anything like that. I don't feel.
Yeah. I don't think.
overall, there's like a good diversity and everybody's pretty friendly. Like even like us at this table, like it's a good representation of like the different skin tones at our school.
And backgrounds, ethnicities.
Yeah, like overall.
All right. In terms of the district,
In terms of the district,
Again, I think it's the same.
it's kind of the same. Like if you look at the district as a whole, there's not a lot of racism that's like rampant in each school.
Yeah.
Because we're a really diverse district.
I mean, I will say like, we have a organization or a club that's called Community-Wide Dialogue. So it's when city schools in our district connect with suburban schools, which is like when the houses are further apart, when there's less people in suburbs. So suburban schools are like 98% white a lot of the time. So like they have more racism in their schools because there is less kids of color. So therefore they are a little more singled out. But within our district, it's majority people of color. So I think there's just a lot of exceptions. And I think our school has a lot of rules around bullying and racism as like and sexism as well. Like there's it's never perfect, but I think overall like that's not really an issue for us.
What do you do in your free time?
Oh my God, my school schedule is so packed.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like speaking for all of us, we all have really packed schedules. So I feel like majority of my free time is spent making sure I don't fail any of my classes. But besides that, I actually work with Ange. And besides that, I play sports. I'm heavily interested in basketball, but actually I also play tennis and I do basketball year round though. And then also, I don't know, I just like hanging out with my friends, like my friends in school.
Yeah.
So we have 7 periods that are about 45 to an hour minutes long. It depends on the school. Some schools have blocks, which means you have 4 periods every other day. So that's kind of how our school is structured. We start at 7:25 and we end at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's like 6 hours, 5 hours, somewhere in there. A lot of kids do after school activities. So quite a few people play sports. There's club activities, after school, and just outside of school things. I love to spend time with my family. That's what I do a lot when I go home. I have 2 younger siblings. I'm a dancer, so I go to dance class after school in the evenings. On the weekends, I don't know, we just hang out. some kids will like get together and go to the mall or the movies or something.
Yeah. My schedule is like hectic every week. Mine's changes every week. Cause I'm a photographer for our sports team, so it just depends on when we have a game. Sometimes I have 2 games a week with college classes and I work as a cashier. Plus I have to keep up with homework here and my Syracuse journalism lab program. So always doing something, always doing something.
I know for like my free time and maybe for treasure as well, when we have like classes like super bio. We have to like we have exams to cover over like 7 chapters. So we use in class, sometimes a lot of our time is spent on just studying, and then also outside of class is spent on studying. But it also depends, because then we take something like calculus 1 and we might have an exam which covers multiple sections, and we have a quiz of the week. And so it just adds on to that pile of work. And then in our English classes, we have projects to do, which adds on to the workload.
Maybe Tiana can share about work.
Yes, Tiana.
Okay, I guess. After schools, I usually go to sports, but they're always cut out because I have to go to work and I work long hours, just standing and putting things away the entire time. I work at the hospital, upstate hospital. So there's a lot of people coming in and out, a lot of patients and their families coming in and out. And what I do at the hospital, I work in the gift shop.
There's a gift shop. There's a gift shop in there.
The gift shop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess. The gift shop is called Lori's Gifts. If that's what it is. At the gift shop, like I said, there's a lot of families of patients coming in and out. So it's really, even if I'm having like a bad day, it's really important because no one comes over to our store. Like other workers, no one comes over to my store, so I have to do everything by myself. And I also have school, like regular high school, and then there's also college work from OCC, which is Onondaga Community College. And then I also have sports, and it's kind of stressful.
Out of the 4 of us, I'm the only one, or out of the 5 of us, I'm the only one that doesn't have a job. A lot of students have a job, and they work after school and on the weekends.
We be getting that already.
Okay, I want to say something too. As far as for, like, I believe everybody who was here throughout today, we're on this program at our school called Smart Scholars, and it's basically like how Tiana was kind of saying, we go up to Onondaga Community College, we pick our days, and we pick one of our classes. We all have to take English, but we do get to pick our other class. Like, right now, I'm in Cal, he is too, they're in pre-Cal, and you're in intro to business, right?
Yeah, I'm taking Introduction to Business.
Yeah, they're both
We go.
But
But like there's kids that take psychology, you can take a language, really any extra or electives.
yeah, and with that, I mean, I say for us, we're probably under like one of the most stressed out of anyone because like our schedule is like tight packed into this 7:25 to 2 o'clock day. Like we have our Smart Scholar classes, and then we literally get on a bus and come back to school and have to go straight to a class. Like we don't exactly get a lunch, but we do, but we don't. Like it's confusing. Like we have a lunch on our schedule, but realistically we don't get it because we're never here for it.
We're never here for lunch.
Yeah, like because we're always either at OCC. Like when the lunch bell rings, I'm literally in calc at OCC, and then yeah. So then when we come back, we have to go to our CTE classes, and most of that takes up time, that and history. So some people don't even have a gym, and we need that to graduate. Like, so then they have to do it online and EOP.
We're just stacked. We're so stacked.
And that's just us, like
Yeah, it's not the
normally,
whole
like there's only like 20 students, and then P-Tech has some more kids that spend half their day at the college. But like across the district, there's some kids that do it, but like that's not a normal schedule for American teenagers.
This is not an
That's
example
just
of like
like
the
our
average
personal experiences.
For answering all those questions, and we have learned a lot from what you were saying. And one important thing that I've highlighted is that you guys are so busy. Like you share your schedules each day. You've got a lot to do, and it's something that we want to adopt as the learner's first side. Because we have this free time whereby we use it on things that that are not positive. So thank you so much for answering these questions. So now we are going to move to our second part, which is you guys are asking us questions.
So what are some of the best aspects of schools in your country?
For me, I would say that, like, for example, my school, I went to my school because, like, we have so many different sports code, and since I've heard from some other people saying that my current school has some great teachers, so that is what I could say about my school. That is the two great aspects about my school. Thank you.
My school offers opportunities to learners who excel in academics.
My school offers literally not much, and academically, it takes you to just like push up for your own effort, which is, at the end of the year, it's what you're looking for. You're going to get what you're looking for. Then in sports, it's currently, they offer it most in rugby and soccer, not much in music, because in our school's music choir, we literally have, when we are asked to join something, we practice at the last moment. Then that's why I don't join my school music choir, because it's such big.
We actually have the same school. My school, it doesn't have much sports. I love art, but we don't actually do the subject at school. So I attend classes from outside our school. I do much art at home whenever I'm free. You guys seem to be busy, but whenever I'm free, I just spend time with myself. At school, our best aspect, I would say, is to excel in academics. So our school is not that much in sports. Our schools have much rules. Our rules is to make sure that drugs aren't entered in school, no bullying, everyone is safe.
It's not quiet, but he's safe on his side of you. But what I can say, it depends on the class that you are in, because in my class, it's bullyism, it's something that we usually get everyday basis. Because like literally we have a group of gangs in the same class, which is we have like the smart kids corner and the gossip corner and the losers corner. That's why some of our kids in my class called us that. Then bullyism came into me in a picture of, like, I was sitting in the sun outside. They pictured me. They said they were making a poker sticker on social. Then they posted it. When I found out, they said that they've already deleted it. But then I went to report it. It was taken action into it, because like literally they said to me, if I want to take further action, I can go to the police and report them. Bullyism is something that's taken care of in my school quietly. But then, yeah, we strive for bullyism. No bullyism in my school.
You don't understand something, they're not afraid to like explain it again and again and again and use different methods and ways of explaining to you that certain thing or concept in that manner.
Sum up what they had said. And those aspects are different because these are two different schools. But I think the teachers have one goal, which is to have they are all dedicated to their work, which is something that we can point out. And also our learners are frequently monitored because they start the school at 8 o'clock in the morning and then they clock at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the teachers they also have expectations because the dedication that they put to the work that they do. And one other thing is that they have different sports codes. Some schools do have some sports codes that are at you, and then some don't. Maybe they have like 3 sports codes. So yeah, at least we do have something that we can call an extramural activity, which is physical learning. And then another thing that they offer in their schools is the extra classes, which they attend after school. Maybe they start at 3 and then clock out at 5 o'clock. Maybe they attend what you call the clubs, but in this side we call them organizations. They have which are based in those schools. So, yeah, typically this is what they were trying to do.
The second question is, what are the aspects that aren't good? For example, what kind of pressures and stresses are you at under school? We have had that South African schools struggle when it comes to resources. Does any of y'all schools struggle?
School aspects is that like a lot of learners, basically male learners, like they do drugs and alcohol during the inside the school premises. Like what I would say about the resources part, yeah, we do lack in resources because we might not have a lot of resources in our school, so that is why we do not have a lot of subjects.
In my school, we lack in resources whereby like we have a shortage of teachers, and for some other subjects, then in other resources of packaging, we don't have a lab whereby you do science in it. We only do science in like looking at the book. And I wanted to do consumer studies, but literally they do have a class for it, but no teacher for it.
We do lack in resources in our school. We have broken windows. Some are being fixed, some aren't. Some are being destroyed by our communities because there are people who are against the laws. Those people are out there that schools are for the generations. I think our schools had resources, but in increase of crime in South Africa, I think it has a bad impact on us, which leads to dropouts.
So with like how you say the increased crimes in Africa, like in the people who are against it and breaking the windows, is that like, are there certain like in our case, will there be like people who go into your school and like harm the students?
No, they don't. Like afternoon when the school is closed, I mean they broke into the schools, take resources. Our school, like, it is safe, it has fence, but they break in our school, store resources. That's why sometimes we lack.
Guys, hey, well, if you have another answer, go with that first. Sorry.
So some of the really bad aspects is that our schools are not well defended. There may be fences around the schools and alarms, but the people always find a way to get around them, and then they break and steal stuff. Another bad aspect, as they have mentioned, is the resources. Our schools don't have enough money or funding to afford that many resources, and since our computer lab is non-functional, we cannot do the other subjects that we may want to do to achieve our dream.
On what they have said, another bad aspect that we are facing is the overcrowded of learners. We have maybe a ratio of 1:80, one teacher teaching 80 learners in a classroom. So that is a bad aspect because they don't get to understand everything. So when they leave the class, they do come out and do the work. Another aspect is the infrastructure of the school. Most of the township schools are vandalized by the police, as they have said, and some of the classrooms that we use don't have windows. The floor is not looking good, so the infrastructure is not would have been. Another thing that we have is the attacks between the learners and the teachers. I don't know whether you've seen this on social media. We do have learners that fight with the teachers physically, and videos that are taken by the learners in the system on social media. So it's one of the things that we have on the side. And also another thing that is affecting our teenage girls is the high pregnancy. We have a lot of learners that are pregnant in our schools, and it's affecting actually our education system. So and also the lack of subjects. Sometimes some schools, just because there are no learners who want to do the subject, they just cut it off, and then it's not going to be on the list of the subjects that the learners want to do. If maybe there's just one learner who wants to do accounting, and then every other learner wants to do math, they just cut out that subject because there's a few learners who want to so those the aspects that of our school.
Question. So like, do you guys pay to go to school? Do you pay for your books? Like here we get free lunches at our school, like through the government, they pay for lunches. They're not like the best in our opinion, but like, all right, any of those like those type of resources, like do you guys pay for them or is it just like the school?
We also don't pay for like our computers. We get computers for our school.
Yeah.
We don't have to pay for that, and we don't have to pay for like any college course we take through here or any transportation.
Yeah, transportation too.
The question, unfortunately, yeah, we do have to pay for the resources that that are been vandalized because we already when I first some of my years of learning, a lot of learners are using textbooks that are already like 10 years old that are like ripped and like have gun in them or like have written drawings on them. So they're already been vandalized, but if you like try to damage it more or like lost that certain resources of yours, you have to pay for it. Usually the textbooks or some resources that we have to pay are like above 100 rand, 100 rand or like 150. So we have to pay ourselves, not the school itself, just ourselves or the parents of them.
I also want to add on to what Ayla said. Okay, so it really depends on the school you're in. So if you're in one of those good schools, the ones that have the resources, the ones that are like the city schools, you do pay, and they're usually very expensive. Unless well, maybe you get a scholarship, then you won't pay, and then it will be funded by.
And some of the schools, you don't get to like literally pay for a textbook. Because like in my school, if the textbook are short, they're just short. You're going to share one textbook, 3 learners or 4, and a textbook in one. Then yeah, we get free food. We don't pay school fees. Then the other thing, it's like the resources around the class will literally, if you want to help to get your class good looking, we have to like do like each learner to pay like a 2 rand so that we could get a broom so that we could keep our class clean. Then we literally help the teachers to get some resources to help our classes. It depends on the learner that wants to help to get his class or her class clean.
Some of the textbooks are being stolen in our school by other learners who don't give much attention to their education. They just don't care. So we suffer a lot when it comes into getting textbooks. Our teachers believe that it is worth our sacrifice and responsibilities to sustain our school. So I think in these schools that don't have much resources, it depends on us to sustain them. These schools that have much resources, they have fees, they cost. So that's why I think I think I think these schools that have no fees are the most like us in resources and in staff. We do government offer us ration, which is the food that is being given to us as a gift by the government to help the learners to get food in school. Some learners are poor in their family. They come school hungry. So I think we don't have a choice but to sustain our school.
That part, I wouldn't say we pay for a lot of things in our school unless we're the reason why they are missing. For example, we get free textbooks in my school. We got at the start of the year when I first arrived to my school, I got free books, but the books were obviously not enough. I got free pens and stationery, but obviously they were not enough. I'd like to thank the government for providing us with that, but I wouldn't say that we pay for much of the things because at my school we obviously have a nutrition program, which leads us to not packing lunch for ourselves since we depend on the nutrition program at our school.
Have any like what is it called how do I put it? Like student ran things like at like for example at our school we have student government and I'm actually the vice president of it, but I know we're organizing like talent shows and different like dances and things like that. Do you guys have any
like pep rallies?
Oh yeah, and like pep rallies or anything like that. Yes, student brand responsibilities. I don't really know.
Student run.
Yeah, student runs, like student run events.
Yeah, thank you. That's it.
In my school, we do have those. We have like in a class RCLs, which is a female and the male. Then we've got a school president, which is just only one person who represents the whole gang of RCLs. The person who the RCL reports to, then the reports goes to the principal. Then sometimes in my school, the reports don't get literally checked because we once had a problem of wanting to fix the tag shop at back of our school where we literally wanted to sell inside the school. We've been like literally waiting for a long period now. That thing hasn't been fixed yet. It's been like a long promise that hasn't been done. So like we have those, but it's non-functional.
What's a tech shop?
Tech shop, it's where we buy fast foods within our school. It fundraise our school. It helps to raise the money for the school.
The school store, yeah, like every lunch period, they sell like snacks over at like the front area of the school. They sell snacks and stuff.
For me, basically, I would say like a tuck shop. It's like something like a cafeteria. Like I mentioned, is where like we buy food. If like we feel like our stomachs are not full with the nutrition program food, like that is our go-to place to buy ourselves something to eat.
Important thing that is the cafe that we are running as Inkululeko. We've got a cafe in one of our branches. It's whereby we work closely with the community. They come in and sell their stuff to the learners, to the teachers, and also to the community members. So yes, we do have a cafe also in Inkululeko.
Question is, we have a technical school, obviously ITC is a technical school where we have like specialized programs. Do you guys in South Africa have a technical school like in the area that kids go to?
We know of one technical school in Makhanda, and that has recently opened. It is called Inkululeko. It is still new, and for now, it has one grade, which is the 8th grade. Yes, indeed.
Basically it said like we only have one like technical school like in the location. But I would also mention there are some few technical schools like around Makhanda, like the suburb school. Yeah, there are some technical schools. Maybe I would say maybe 4 or 5 technical schools around our town.
Which is 35 and also 45. So in our location, which is the township, we have one technical school. As we have said, it only has one grade, which is grade 8. It just started this year, so we are not familiar with it. One thing we know of is the FPT school whereby when you're done with your grade 12, you can go to, and then start doing the planning, your IT. So we are not familiar with the technical school. We are just used to our normal school whereby you go to subject and then just go to study over the lesson.
Me, basically, I would say a way of being distracted from school. Personally, I would say it's friends. I would say it's friend. Like peer pressure is one of the biggest things that could distract you from your books or from school. Like for example, when you see your friend smoking, you'd basically want to do that thing because it looks cool on them, not knowing that it might harm your body or something else. Yeah, another thing I would say it's alcohol and the substance abuse. Yeah, we have a lot of that in our town because there are some students who I would not mention or I don't know who do substances or who do consume.
So lots of people would disagree with me for saying this, but I'd say one of the major issues is dating. I feel like dating kind of takes you away from your education and kind of puts you in a spot where all you think of is love. And so that distracts you a lot as while a teacher is talking to you, you wouldn't be paying attention and you wouldn't be concentrating, which can really put pressure on you as to your education.
Say that in my school, drug abuse is the most popular thing. I would say most kids come school high. Some have problems at school. We don't have like people to talk to, spread our problems with. Some kids come with problems in their homes, which affects them in focusing in school. So I think there are most of things here in South Africa, mostly on the townships. Kids are being distracted by friends, drugs, alcohol abuse, many things that has an impact on education. And I would say that I don't really like studying because I feel like my career doesn't go forward with studying. I am good with art. My school doesn't have art. Like I feel like it'd be another disadvantage of me to get into another school, get from the stretch to continue with my career. I don't know. So I think it has an impact on me also.
How at least from website. There's also adding to what Likiom said, there's also high pregnancy in our schools, so many of our teenagers are getting pregnant.
My partner here who said like dating is also another way to distract from school. A lot, as you said, a lot of people disagree with this, but yeah, I also find it in a way like you in class, you're thinking about your so-called girlfriend, yeah. And then you'll be like, the teacher is teaching and you're thinking about your girlfriend. You ain't anticipating or observing what the teacher is saying or what the teacher is doing. So yeah, I would say dating is another way of distracting you from school. because I'm talking about
We add up into pregnancy. Um, Teenage pregnancy in our schools has been the most crisis. Some kids don't like, I feel like there's this grant in South Africa that provide kids with, so whenever some kids are struggling to get money, so I feel like some do get pregnant to get this money. I don't know, like Mara, it somehow distracts them. It gives them responsibilities of being a parent at a early young age.
basically they chase the money. That is what most people care about. It's having money because like it's what they say. Money brings you happiness, but money also comes with problems. Because like you see your friend having like sex, and then you're like, oh, I'd like to have sex and have a child because I know I'll gain cash of that child. Yeah, that's the thing. They want to have children and so that they know they have a source of income.
Media is also one of the biggest disruptions because it may lead to procrastination.
That what she just said right now, it's 100% full distraction from studies. Cause like literally in my school we've been like the principal have taken like more than 50% of the school's phones, people bringing phones into the school. Cause like in my school it's like a wrong thing to do bringing a phone into school because people do naughty things with it during the time whereby you have to study, like watching porn during during your study time and texting on Facebook on social media while you have to be looking at the teacher, listening into a teacher.
Another biggest fact in our school is that I I am the rainbow kid. LGBT is the most vandalized community in our schools. Kids are afraid to come out. It's not safe in schools. We are being judged. We are unsafe. Kids commit suicide, which is the most terrifying thing in South Africa. They do drugs to escape reality. Some focus on media in order for them to get distraction from the problems which they are facing. It is very rare to find someone in South Africa who is capable of doing sustainable things to sustain their future. I would say the most popular thing that people, almost 0.5% of South Africa is to get entertainment, is to be out there. Instead of sustaining themselves, they don't care. It has a great impact in influencing schools. Schools are being vandalized by those who don't care. The job opportunities are few, which leads to crimes. Crimes affecting our schools, and some learners, even the dropouts, also do commit crimes in our schools. Our government doesn't. Sometimes we don't feel like as upcoming generation, we don't feel like our government is taking an action against this crisis. There are so many cases to be told. I think you guys should learn a lot about South Africa because it's the worst place to be.
Adding on to that social media part, that social media could mislead you from focusing on your food. Yeah, I might as well disagree and agree at the same time. Because if you set your mind to social media, obviously you'll be distracted from school. But if you can control yourself and control how active you can be on your phone, then you will be obviously not be misled on your books.
Have any add-up questions or follow-up questions that you'd like to know?
It seems like you guys are dealing with a lot, like a lot. And us over here, we have guidance counselors, we have mental health advisors, we have school psychologists here. that kind of guide us through these like experiences? Do you guys have like student support systems that help you guys deal with everything that's going on like in school or at home?
To answer your question, none, unfortunately. We literally have none. It's really rare to find any counselor or like a school psychologist for the teachers and to be in fact because they mostly they also want us to like not want us to like we'll talk about our problems at home of why you struggle or why you're struggling this and that. uh, Yeah, yeah. So, but it's a pretty rare for this because it's pretty rare. But whole in this whole township, it's pretty rare to like to find any or to have any psychologist or like a counselor. I would obviously have to disagree what he said over there, but that is his own point of view. I would say some schools do have some professional psychiatrists or a professional person that you could talk to about your problems and they could maybe help you heal. Like my school, it does have a person like actually he's a qualified person. Like sometimes I go talk to him, but you can only like if you want to talk to him, you can go talk to him. It's up to yourself that you tell yourself that now I want to share this problem that I have with someone.
To clarify is that it's not opened up to them. Maybe they don't know there's a psychologist at the school, and it's a few maybe that they know who know that they actually have a psychologist in school or a social worker. And it also depends on the members whether they can. The only way they could get help is for the learners to go to the psychologist or the social worker. So yeah.
That part. Maybe some of us or some of them don't know there's an actual psychologist inside the school. Like, as I said, it's up to you telling yourself that you do want to go to the psychologist or you don't want to. As some of us teenagers, we like being secretive, we like keeping things to ourselves and not telling anyone else. And then when it comes back to bite us because when anybody comes to know of this problem, they attack you in a way that you do not want to be attacked.
Can say from what he's saying right now, if you're gonna keep something that's hurting you inside you, that's what's mostly going to kill you. Because most children out there who are killing themselves, it's because they are keeping everything into themselves. That's why here in our country, there are like high cases of suicidal and depression kids and anxiety in our schools because of children they like keeping things to themselves, which causes them to have high layer of thinking about things, then they choose not to see anyone to help them, then they decide of killing themselves.
To being true with you guys, I would say that it depends on the parents' money to decide whether their kid is going to which school. We as learners which are in schools that we didn't choose, our goal is to achieve, maybe have the better for ourselves. We didn't choose. Not the only thing that I'm looking forward to change the school. Maybe I want to focus on my academics. I want to pass. Definitely I will. So I want to move forward. I just wanna like have the better for myself. I think that's what South Africa is all about. You decide what's best for you. Like some people decide it's a choice, but it also influences the others.
Mental part, yeah. Some parents may have an impact regarding to the kids, maybe whether like they want to share their own problems or what's happening at school. Like for example, I might say like a parent, like your bigger brother, let's say your bigger brother in the olden days, when he used to do something wrong or something would happen to him, I would not share it with the parents. Like the parents would like badly hit him. Now you don't want that to happen to you, and then you wouldn't share what happened at school with your parents. That is another important part that parents do not know or do not see what they're doing to their children.
Has your perspective of our school changed from this conversation? If so, how?
I really know that your school have like that many opportunities and clubs and resources to accommodate your careers. And so it really looks like the perfect place to be, to, you know, go there and do what you want.
Basically, what I've learned from today's session is that like American schools or like schools from your side is way, way much more different from our schools because like your schools are much more well structured while ours are structured, but like some people do not care at all about like the surroundings or the school or what's happening inside the school. And like I think like if you wanna see like how we survive in our schools one day, maybe when you grow older, or maybe when you have the opportunity to come decide, maybe you can and see it for yourselves. I wouldn't like talking. I would just like to believe by seeing it with my own two eyes.
What I actually learned today is that you guys have so much possibilities. You guys don't struggle when it comes into your school. There are much resources. You guys decide what's best for your future. In our side, I would say that it somehow seems as an opposite of our school, but also it encourages us to go further in life, to do more, because in future we'd like to renovate our schools to become like your schools.
We want to thank you all for your open conversation. It was really lovely.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, for your time and you know, telling us about how USA is and how the learning system is and how structured the schools are. And I can see that you can see that the difference between us and you guys, and we have learned a lot. One key takeaway that I saw is that you guys are very busy, but you totally, you know, it means that you have a routine that you use for yourself that works for you. So this is very important, and I think that we have seen that we are talking about a lot of substance abuse, which is one aspect that we have here in our schools and also in our communities. And a lot of people, whether you are young or old, it's just substance abuse, and our kids, they see it as a coping, which is not at all. Our kids here, they start having alcohol at a very early age, and it also affects in them dropping out from school. And you know, it's a lot. It's just a lot because the poor background. I've learned a lot from you guys, and I hope that we can have our next stress session with you guys, which will be very soon if that happens. And thank you so much, Katie, and everyone.
Thank you. I think that these students found some common ground of some of the same shared issues.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a chance to share some of the bigger problems for the teenagers here, so hopefully we can talk again. And to put into perspective, our school district has only a graduation rate between 50 and 60%. So we are in a school with a very fortunate school, but just to keep in mind, we still have a lot of graduation problems, like students who are not getting out of high school. Hopefully our next conversations, you guys can continue to talk. You were very open and we appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.